Yes, today, look. So you might be noticing something is a little bit different, and I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, he changed his device. So yeah, I'm on an iPad. I am on a 14-day-old account starting today, and it doesn't really matter where I am when it comes to these type of videos, just because let's go over whether the Zenkai Super 17 is even worth it. And to answer your question, if you play GT, absolutely. Mainly because it's GT, and they need all the support they can get. So if you're a GT main, rejoice. You finally have a character that can live through a combo. But regardless, he's not worth it if you're someone that is maining androids. He's not worth it if you're maining fusion warriors. He's just not really worth it outside of the scope of GT. And I say this knowing that you could definitely put him in an androids team. So I think the final thoughts are this. Great on GT, passable on androids for sure, and then don't even bother with fusion warriors. Just don't do that. Okay. Now that we got that over the way, let's get a look at his stats and just overall what he's capable of doing. So right out of the get-go, so let me get him to like 14. Let's max this dude out. All right. His defensive stats are good. His blast attack stat is solid. His strike attack stat is, it could be way better, but let's be real, he is a blast heavy focused unit. So he does synergize with androids currently in the meta much better than 16 does. Funny enough. But on the other hand, this dude doesn't do what 16 can do, which is tank even better. I strongly believe that even though this guy is definitely built to survive, I think that 16 is better at surviving, at least face value. So when I'm talking about like stats and also abilities, it's to be seen whether or not this is actually true. But we also have to consider that if you decide you can put all three on the team, or it potentially just put 16 and this one on the team and see what happens, you could do that. I'm not saying you can't. But overall, yeah, he's a solid unit. So if you're maining GT, rejoice, you have something. Let's go over some of the more important cards. We don't have to go over Blast. We know it just goes Ratata. All right, so for the blue card, it's standard. It's good stuff. Okay, for the green card, let's take a look. So, Ki Blast, if you absorb a Ki Blast. So unfortunately, they didn't give us tap shots. It would have been nice if they could also give us tap shots for him. Personally speaking, I feel like they overbalanced this character, making him a little bit more underwhelming than we wanted. But at the same time, I say kudos to the devs and Toshi for that, because honestly, Zenkais needed to be reeled in. They needed to... You gotta grab them by their collars and just say, stop. Please stop. And that's what they're doing, and I do enjoy that, because breaking a character isn't exactly what I would call good design. So I do appreciate that. I just think that in the scope of things, because they've been doing that, 18 and Gohan Youth and Gogeta and Bardock and Super Saiyan 3 Goku are kind of hard to beat as a result. They're like the cream of the crop. They're like the ideal Zenkais as a result. So kind of hard, but either way, restore health by 10%, reduce damage by 30% for only 5 timer counts. I at least 10. At least give this guy 10 timer counts for that. But they do give him 30% extra damage. That's nice. And then they destroy a random card. Don't care about that. But they do reduce the enemy key by 50. That is nice, because after you use this green card, even if you're successful, if they've clicked double blast, the second blast is going to hit you. So the fact of the matter is this. You will be able to pretty much cut their attack completely off. I like that. I like it. It's a solid card now. And then we got the ultimate. We're just going to look at it now, because we're already here. It cancels enemy buffs effects upon activation. I love it. Applies the following effect if it hits. Downgrading. Perfect. For strike arts cost. Perfect. And then, obviously, the 100% chance to inflict paralyze. This is a nuisance. I hate this thing. But at the same time, it won't affect people that are immune. So, All right, ultimate card. Restores ki by 40. We always love main abilities that can restore ki. And then extra damage for blast, specifically for 50% for 20 timer counts. Why didn't it just do overall? Should have just done overall. Like, even that would not have broken this character. Although, I guess maybe they're just doing future-proof designing, which in that case, fair enough. I'm just worried about the relevancy of this unit. As you can tell, this video is kind of, like, more on the, like, I'm kind of concerned for this unit, more so than I'm impressed. But I think we should just reserve until we see everything, okay? So I will try to assume that it could get better. All right, so let's take a look at the first thing. So we got, when he enters the battlefield, increased damage overall, reduced damage overall for 15 timer counts. See, that's nice. Additional plus 3% for each defeated enemy. Okay, so it's a win more unit. Interesting. I always get concerned about win more units. Although if it's a 2-on-2 fight, the extra additional is nice. It's nice. Okay, so okay skill on that specific part, just not exactly what I would say helpful in a completely losing situation. All right, 20% damage inflicted if this character defeats an enemy, which cannot be canceled. Interesting. Okay. Kind of hard conditions in some cases, but this last one is definitely on the harder end of like conditions, but we'll see. Maybe it's actually much more relevant than we think, but I'm not going to hold my breath. All right, let's take a look at Dr. Mew's absorption equipment. All right, so we got key blast attacks when changing cover. Nice. I like that. I mean, we already had that, but still, it's nice to have it. Okay, falling effects. So 10% health. Yes. Reduced damage by 30%. Okay. So it does literally the green card. Awesome. And then also when an enemy switches characters while this character is on the battlefield, draw a blue card. Awesome. I love that. Or is that a green card? I can't tell. Might be a green card, actually. No, it's a green card. My bad. And then also downgrades. Okay. This is actually not bad. This is very helpful for both GT and androids. Yeah, no. This is a nice synergy kit. That's nice synergy. I have nothing bad to say about it. I mean, again, anyone that is immune is just going to say, nah, whatever. But otherwise, good stuff. Yeah, okay, perfect. Unsettling Smirk, let's go. So applies the following effects to self, depending on the amount of timer counts, while this current character is on the board. 3 timer counts, restores own key by 40, or actually not this character, any character. No, to itself, okay. Oh, so this is only to itself. Got it. So if it's on the board for 3 timer counts, 40 key, 5 timer counts, debuffs the opponent and increases their damage received. 10 timer counts, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade. I hate to say it, but I'm not impressed by that skill. Now, if I'm misunderstanding it and it's saying it's allowing it no matter like where he's on the board, then this is good. But if this can't be reapplied every single time he comes in for the excess amount of timer counts that go by, then in that case, this skill is not very good. So, and I'm worried that it's the latter and not the former, because I don't fully understand the skill, but based upon what I'm reading, it has to be when he is on the board only. Oh, wait, no. I get it. Okay, so he has to be on the board. The opponent has to be on the board. Depending on how long those two are on the board, he'll receive the following effects. That's hard conditioning. Yikes. Ay. This is overbalancing. This is way too much overbalancing. Like, and I'm worried that he's going to be underwhelming. Okay. Let's go over the last one. Again, guys, just because we read things at face value does not mean he's not going to actually end up being good. This just means that when we evaluate someone by, like, by its cover, so basically by reading it and then thinking about how it would apply, it could feel more overpowered or underpowered even than what the results are. I mean, if we take a look at a couple of other units, for example, the purple Broly, when you look at him at face value, he looks amazing. And he is actually really good. He's just not as amazing as people thought he was going to be, because people had like this preconceived notion of what he was supposed to be in their minds. And then he turned out not to be that, and they were disappointed. But There's no need to be disappointed. That purple Broly Zenkai is actually really good. And people that say he's bad, no, they're wrong. He's actually good. He's a must-have on a Super Saiyan's team. And then everywhere else, it's, it's optional because he's good for what he is, just he isn't as busted without the crits. Fair enough. He just will never be what he once was because Bandai / the devs / Toshi have learned their lesson. Anyways, let's look at the last one. So he applies the following effects after the enemy attack is over. This is even included if he were to do the cover change and absorb with the blast. So this is excellent synergy. I do appreciate this. Let's see what they gave him. They give him 10% extra health, but they only activate 3 times. Okay. Increases the damage inflicted, which can be activated 3 times, and it will not be canceled. For an extra 45% global damage. Not bad. And then -3 to blast arts cost. Cannot be activated, cannot be canceled, but activated 3 times for a total of -9? I know that doesn't sound impressive, but that's actually really good. So what I would say is that if you are going to Zenkai this guy, these are your options. You could go for Zenkai 1, just to have his stat boosting, just to have him be a little bit better, or actually a lot better than what he used to be. Then in that case, go for that. Otherwise, I strongly suggest that if you are planning to invest your Chrono Crystals into this dude, go to at least minimum Zenkai 6. That last ability really defines this character. I think a lot more than people will even be willing to admit or alternatively realize. That -9, or at least even -6, which will happen. The -6 will definitely happen. -9 may not, but for the most part, I think a lot of games you'll find it does. That's huge. That is literally amazing. Because let's take a look at that. His blast cost is 28, right? And for a very blast heavy user with a whole bunch of other users that are also blast heavy, you gotta consider that -9, it's at 19. But consistently for the entire game once you get there. And even if it's -6, it's at 22, which is below the general average of a 24 blast card. Because most of the ones are like 29 to 24, right? So if you do it twice, you're already at 22. That's already awesome as it is. And let's say you get it to 25, even better. You hit the average and you have to do that once. So this is actually really good, even without actually having to test them out. That last skill, beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I thought that would be underwhelming, but actually it's not, because triple activation for that without the cancellation is great. So now you have a very cost-efficient android that is also built to be a defensive type unit while also healing himself, and potentially even messing up the opponent with his cover change or green card. Overall, like I said, if you are running GT, this is definitely a unit, a must-have if you're running GT. If you're running androids, this is more of a pick and choose type of situation, because despite him buffing androids, he doesn't fully buff them. So when you do use him, be aware of that. He could be a good replacement for 21 Good though. So if you do not have her and you wanted him, do it. Do it. Just do it. He is a great replacement. He does pretty much what she does. In some areas better, some areas worse. Like I said, this is dependent. Very dependent, but overall, I think that Super 17 as a Zenkai unit should not be underestimated. Despite the Zenkai 3 ability, which I'm not very impressed with, the regular abilities, very good, and Zenkai 6 ability, also really good. So he definitely has value. He definitely is something that you should consider, and overall, I would say just a solid unit all around. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't hesitate to tickle the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe, and click the bell for more notificaciones so you never miss another video. Have yourselves a salty day, and I will see you in the next video.
Mana mana, bum dum bum, bum dum bum, blam blam, Saitama!